Hey there, welcome to this tutorial. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and use the lambda expressions. If you learn the techniques that I'm about to show you, you will avoid writing redundant and repetitive codes, less readable codes, complex codes, not reusable codes, and boilerplate codes. And if you learn and use the techniques I'm about to show you, you will write less lines of code, more maintainable code, high efficient code, more concise and readable code, neat, clean, and easy to understand code. So what is lambda expressions? Here is the story of lambda. As there is a growing interest in dynamic languages, more people are facing a programming concept called lambdas, also called closures. So if you are coming from the Swift programming language, then the closure should sound familiar to you. It is also called anonymous functions or blocks. Essentially, a lambda is a block of code that can be passed as an argument to a function call or method. Lambda expressions enable to treat functionality as a method argument or code as data. Lambda expressions provide a function that can be created without belonging to any class. Lambda expressions can be passed around as if it was an object and executed on demand. Lambda expressions can only be used to implement functional interfaces. So now it's time to go ahead and step by step see how lambda expressions are implemented in our project. Let's get started. So open your project and then open the project navigator. Let's go to the build.gradle module app. And now we need to add a dependency code here. So first we need to go ahead and open our web browser. And in the Google, just search for retro lambda and then click on it. Click on the first link of the GitHub website. And let's scroll down here. So now it says that you can alternatively, you can use the new plugin syntax for Gradle 2.1 plus. So our project is already using a Gradle above this version, so we can use this code. Just copy this piece of code, this plugins block, and let's go to Android Studio. Let's go to the build.gradle module app at the top of the file. So before this apply code, I'm going to paste this block of code here. So now let's go ahead and sync the project. Our project is synced successfully, but there is an error. It says one of the plugins you are using supports Java 8 language features. To try the support build into the Android plugin, remove the following from your build.gradle. In order to solve this problem, let's go and open our web browser. So here you can see that we have get our code from this plugins block. But if you scroll down here, you should see something called Android Studio Setup. So it says add these lines to your build.gradle to inform the IDE of the language level. So I am going to copy this compile options block. You don't have to copy this Android block because the Android block is already inside our build.gradle module app. So let's go back to Android Studio, and here you should see the Android block here. So I am going to add this block of code here inside this Android block and paste it here. And then let's go ahead and sync the project. So again, you can see that it is trying to show our error, but let's wait. But here it says project setup, reading from cache. So let's wait until this process is finished. And let's go back to our web browser. And here we have something called ProGuard. This plugin is fully compatible with ProGuard. So below this ProGuard section, let's just copy these two lines of code and let's go back to Android Studio. I'm gonna open my project navigator and let's go to the ProGuard file. So here you should see ProGuard-rules.pro. I'm gonna open it and then I am going to paste these lines of code here. Okay. Now I am going to build my project. So at the top menu, just click on build, rebuild project. And then let's go ahead and run our project and make sure that we have no problems regarding the compile error or the runtime error, and everything works fine. So everything is working perfectly without any errors. Let's go back to Android Studio. Now we are going to use Lambda code. So now let's go inside our main activity class. And here, let's go and show the text of our text view. So I mean this how are you text view. Let's show this text the Lambda way. So here inside the main activity class, you can see that we have this piece of code here that is going to specify the text of our text view. How are you? So I am going to comment out this piece of code here by just holding down the control key and then pressing on the / key. If you are using Mac, you need to hold down the command key and then press on the / key. And now let me create a new comment and let's say text view text the Lambda way. Okay, so now let's say observable dot just. So let's specify the text. So here, this time I'm gonna show a hey, what's up? And then I'm going to say dot subscribe. So this time we are not going to create a new consumer. This time I just need to simply say S, that is going to point to a line of code which is going to be txt high dot set text S. That's it. With only one line of code, we could easily get the same result that we got writing, for example, about 5 lines of code. So this is the power of Lambda expressions in action. We simply provided the data source and then we listened to the data, and now we get the data. We just refer to this S, the parameter, and then we are outputting this value to the screen. So let's go ahead and run our application and see whether it works or not. So now it says, hey, what's up? Now we need to go ahead and show these entries on the recycler view the Lambda way. So again, I am going to just highlight them and then comment them out. And then let's go ahead and see what we should do in order to show this data the Lambda way. To be honest, this is going to be your challenge. So go ahead, if you want, you can search online to find a solution to this problem. and try to solve this problem. Give this challenge your best shot and good luck. After trying to solve this challenge, then continue watching this tutorial and see how I am going to solve this problem. So now let's do it. First, we need to specify the data source. I'm going to type in here observable dot just, and now we need to provide the data. So again, we just need to pass the entries, entry 1, entry 2, entry 3, entry 4, and then we need to say dot subscribe, and here I am going to refer to our adapter, which is going to be the RV custom adapter, colon add entry, done, semicolon. We don't have to even pass an argument to this add entry. By just using this syntax, everything is done for us automatically. We just refer to our adapter, and by using this colon syntax, we call this method, and we don't need to pass any arguments to this method because it is already done for us. And that's the power of using Lambda expressions. You can see that we are only writing one line of code, and that's awesome. That increases the maintainability of the code. That shows that you are a professional Android developer. So let's go ahead and run our application and see whether it works or not. So again, we can see the same result. So now you may be wondering whether we can use the same syntax that we used here, where we are actually showing the text of our text view. So yes, we can do that. So instead of saying S pointing to this code, I could simply say txt hi colon, and then I just need to say set text. Done. Let's go ahead and run our application, and you can see the same text. Or we can also use the same syntax here. Instead of saying RV custom adapter colon add entry, I can say S points to a line of code, which is going to be adapter dot add entry S. Okay, now let's go ahead and run our application, and everything is the same. So hopefully you have understood what Lambda expressions really are. So in this tutorial, you have learned how to add retro Lambda to your project by adding the dependencies code, and you have also learned how to use retro Lambda or Lambda expressions in your code in order to simplify your tasks and write more concise codes. This is the end of the current section. In the next section, we are going to master the basics of RX Java programming. So I look forward to seeing you in the next section.